Hey everyone. I know it's good to talk about like all the good stuff that's in the Bible and like just like things that are exciting. But what about the things that aren't? What about the things that allow people to know your truth, that you're not perfect? The transparency that comes, and it allows people to see you. It allows them to see what you've been through. It allows them to see the mistakes that you have made. The imperfection. It allows them to see your need for God. So they don't only see you, but they see why you need the Father. And so I have moments where I'm like David, where he went and committed adultery, covetousness, because it was somebody else's wife that he desired. Not saying that I'm going out with married men or I'm desiring somebody else's husband. But I'm saying even if I lust upon the man that doesn't belong to me, he might belong to someone else or he might not. But all people belong to God. So if I lust upon someone that doesn't belong to me, then if I take them for myself, and they still don't belong to me, then I'm committing adultery against God. And I'm lusting upon them. And that is wrong. And so sometimes we don't want to relate to the people in the Bible that have went through things, like Sarah, when she didn't want to wait, when God gave Abraham a promise and she told him to go into Hagar and they got that son, but that was not the son that God was saying, telling Abraham about. But 25 years or more passed and she was like, no, something got to give. Well, 25 years didn't pass before they made Ishmael. But yes, 25 years passed before they had Isaac. And also, when I think about a lot of other people in the Bible and just how they acted and reacted to the things of God, and I'm like, God, when you be leaving the 99 for the one, you still coming after me. Like, even though I'm with you, at most moments, there's moments where you have to come after me. There's moments where you have to leave the 99 for me. And I thank you for that. There's moments where people that are hirelings come into the shepherd where the sheep is and the sheep herd, and sometimes I listen to their voice and go astray when he says my sheep shall know my voice. Sometimes it's me. Perfection. I have not reached perfection. And perfection for me is spiritual maturity. Using the wisdom and the knowledge that I have of the Lord, and sometimes I'm not using it. And it's easy to just get on here and say some words that sound good, but it's important to know that when I was reading the other day, which I needed to read today too, but when I was reading the other day, it talked about Peter and the other two, the sons of Zebedee. I think his two sons was in the garden with Jesus, and they was praying, and Jesus kept coming back to them and saying, like, why are you sleeping? Etc., etc. And they was steady sleeping every time he came back. And then the last time he came back, he just like, get your rest, because it's time for me to go to the cross. It's time for me to do what I came here to do, to be crucified. And then after he said, get your rest, he said, wake up, because it's time to go. And I'm like, you just said they could stay sleeping, but you said, wake up, it's time to go. Because, but in that next season, they didn't have time to sleep. even though after he denied him, he told Peter originally that I will build my church upon you. Like, you're gonna leave my church. So in that season, Peter had to get up and he had to pray. He got to do the things that God told him to do, that God was right there alongside of him to do, but he did not do in that moment. He got to do those things now. And sometimes we're in a season where we have to do those things now and we're still not doing it. And we're hard on ourselves. We beating ourselves up. And sometimes I'm really, really hard on myself because I know better. I know better. And I should do better. And I can't just quote that verse from Romans. I do the things that I do is the things that I don't want to do, and the things that I want to do, I do not do. I cannot just repeatedly quote that over and over because I know what I should be doing, what I shouldn't. It's a difference when you don't know, or it's a difference when you're just starting to walk in what you do know, but there's still some things that's unclear. But when they have clarity in the midst of those things, it's easier to be hard on yourself because you like,